Ivan Toney deal to Chelsea back on. Chilwell could be sold. A Conor Gallagher and João Felix update and all the insights into the Osimhen deal to Chelsea and the current situation the club and Victor Osimhen are in right now. If you haven't already, do like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts on all the stories. Comment on other people's. And yeah, I'll be updating you guys with the latest Chelsea transfer news every single day. So do subscribe if you want to be updated. First, Ivan Toney to Chelsea. Chelsea are after a striker, and it may not be the right order to do this in, but the final one talks about Chelsea's striker options. I thought a quick update on the Ivan Toney deal would not go amiss, and apparently Brentford are still holding out for £60 million, which is too much for a lot of clubs. Spurs have gone for Dominic Solanke, Manchester United went for Xerxes, Arsenal still haven't signed their striker that they were linked with, but they don't need a striker as desperately as Chelsea, I don't think. And Chelsea could test the waters later in the window, apparently, with a loan plus an obligation to buy, which would mean he is a permanent sale to Chelsea, because the £60 million is far, far too much. He's got 12 months left on the contract, and either they'll agree to insert a release clause next summer for Brentford, plus a contract extension for Toney, or go on a free next year. So there's no point spending £60 million on a striker. They are in a sticky situation as their replacement that they already pre-ordered for Toney, he is out for, I think, till the next 2025. So they do need, if they do end up selling Toney, they'll need another striker, which is a bit of a sticky situation. I do think Ivan Toney would want to join. He's just, I think, looking for a bigger club than Brentford because he's a great player. He wants to maybe force himself into the England team for the next World Cup in 2026 and just stake his claim as one of the best strikers in Europe. As for Brentford, he's been scoring a number of goals for a good few years now. Secondly, Ben Chilwell. He's apparently frustrated with the current situation he is in under Enzo Maresca and is assessing his options for the future. He does not fit into Enzo Maresca's system as the left centre-back, which starts as a left-back, but in possession moves into the left centre-back, becomes part of a back three. He's kind of too short for that and not really good enough at defending for that role. And he also doesn't fit into the other option, which Marco Correa is probably going to do in the season, which inverts into the midfield alongside the deep line playmaker who could be Lavia, Enzo, Caicedo. We got a lot of options. Renato Vega was also brought in to potentially do that role, a left side, the centre back, or the inverted left back. He could do both roles, whereas Ben Chilwell could do neither. So if we did end up selling Ben Chilwell, I don't think we'd sign a replacement unless it was another youngster for the future. We have been linked to Patrick Dorgu, but he is another going forward left back. It's not particularly a left centre back or an inverted left back, although he is still young. Ben Chilwell is, I think, 26, 27. He has high wages, and apparently Chelsea would not stand in his way if he did request to leave. He's apparently great in the dressing room. He is our assistant captain. Is that assistant captain? That doesn't sound right. Reece James the captain. Ben Chilwell secondary captain. He's a good leader. He's one of the older, more experienced players in the team. Played a lot of Premier League games. Played a good few games for England as well. He has had very bad injury record in the past few years, but was really, really important in our Champions League win just 2 or 3 years ago. Time flies. Chelsea wouldn't stand in his way. However, his high wages and Chelsea's relatively expensive valuation of him could potentially block the exit or make it more difficult, as Manchester United have been linked with him. But I don't think Chelsea would part ways with him unless we were given or offered £30 million minimum, I reckon. And then his high wages of about 200k a week would also be a stumbling block for most teams. Thirdly, a Conor Gallagher and João Felix update. This is getting more and more confusing by the day, but I'm here to clear everything out for you. So Conor Gallagher was in Madrid. He has even had a tour of the Wanda Metropolitano, been pictured. He's not signed the final contracts, but he's done his medical. He's so ready for the deal. But Atletico Madrid have not signed off the papers yet until they agree a deal for an Atletico Madrid player to join Chelsea, as that was the agreement. So Chelsea want Conor Gallagher sold, they want the profit from him, and they are apparently applying pressure on Atletico Madrid to do this by booking Gallagher a flight home to London and saying, if you don't sign the contracts, sign off this Conor Gallagher deal, we will return him to London and we'll assess our options. We could sell him to another club, because we know Atletico Madrid, yes, you want him very badly. And so is your manager. You don't want to upset your manager, do you, by not signing off the papers in time. Atletico Madrid need to sell a player to Chelsea. Chelsea wanted Omorodion, but he either failed his medical or Chelsea moved the goalposts, changed their minds in the end. It is a bit of a shame to see. I do feel bad for Samu. But Atletico Madrid want to sell Chelsea João Félix. João Félix would want to move to Chelsea. Chelsea would be happy with João Félix, as he's been here 6 months before. Go and check out my other recent videos talking about João Félix if you want more in depth about him as a player. It makes the most sense out of the Atletico Madrid squad to join Chelsea, apart from Omorodion, because that deal was already fallen apart. Chelsea are not desperate for Felix, but do have the upper hand. So do have the upper hand in the deal to get a cut price. There were reports saying that Atletico Madrid could accept 50 million euros, which is about 42 million pounds. But then apparently they are still asking for too much and are too stubborn with their asking price, and apparently wanting 65 million euros, which is about 55 million pounds, I believe. And at that point, João Félix is a great player, but I only want him at Chelsea if we get him on reasonable financial terms. So they want 55 million pounds. We're, I think, ready to pay 42. So in the next few days, hopefully that valuation could decrease and get closer together. Jorge Mendes, João Félix's agent, is still in London to accelerate the deal. The personal terms are agreed. He wants to join Chelsea. Chelsea have offered the wages, the contract, everything, and he has agreed to all of that. Jorge Mendes is just kind of, I think, trying to accelerate the deal, get it over the line, which he did with Pedro Neto with the Chelsea hierarchy in the last week or so. And finally, the insights into the Osimhen deal and the current situation we find ourselves in. So Chelsea are actively looking for forwards and are engaged in a long, drawn-out negotiation with Victor Osimhen's camp over wages for a loan deal. Now, Victor Osimhen will cost a lot of money if Chelsea want to sign him, and we've not had a great track record with expensive strikers in the past, namely Romelu Lukaku, Alvaro Morata, Fernando Torres. Kai Havertz isn't particularly a striker, but he is nowadays. We didn't sign him as one, but we don't want to replicate these sort of things. So we're looking to get a good deal on our financial terms. Osimhen is refusing to lower his demands of 12 million euros a year, which is £230,000 per week, which would make him one of the highest earning players at Chelsea. I think Raheem Sterling is the most, then Reece James, then I think it's Ben Chilwell, and then Christopher Nkunku on 195. So it would he would be one of our biggest players, one of our most famous, biggest names out there. And £230,000 per week is peanuts to what PSG would be offering and Saudi Arabia. But Chelsea want to make it make sense on a financial scale and may consider other options, such as Ivan Toney at the start of the video, or maybe we go back in for John Duran, but I can't imagine that happens now. Let me know if you think there's any other strikers that Chelsea could go in for, and we'll wrap up the video. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think about the mic quality, because I'm looking to invest in a new mic. Do you think it's worth it? I don't know. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right stuff for you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment your thoughts on all of the stories. I do insist I want to get a big community talking about transfers and Chelsea. And then come back tomorrow, because we'll be making another one just like this. Yeah, subscribe. I'll do it again. Subscribe. Goodbye.